Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I want to do a quick DIY video on how to paint this dresser without having to prime or sand before painting
First
it.
things first, make sure that your dresser is cleaned. I used Clorox wipes, nothing fancy, and then I just let it air dry. And then I'm not going to remove the dressers. So what I did was just line the inside with painting paper and then removed the bar knobs and put them inside each dresser. So these are the things that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum Chalk Ultra Matte Paint. It's a linen white, and I've been using this for pretty much all of my DIY home projects. I love it. It just makes the whatever you paint just so nice, especially if you want that farmhouse look like what I'm going for. So I'm going to use this round brush and this smaller round brush to get the smaller areas like the top of the dresser drawer. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so you want to make sure you're going in one direction to get an even brush stroke. However, if you want to avoid the brushstroke lines, I'd recommend using a foam roller. And that's exactly what I'm going to go purchase after I finish the first coat. The reason why I didn't start with the foam roller was because one, I didn't have one, and it was snowing when I started the project. So now that it's stopped snowing and the roads are clear, I just went ahead and purchased one, and I'll show you how to use it shortly after this. This is what the top coat looks like. You can most definitely see the brushstroke lines, and you can feel it. It's not smooth at all. So what I'm going to do is sand the top coat down, and then I'm going to use my foam roller. Once I start using this, I shouldn't have to sand anymore, but maybe minimal sanding, but you won't see any lines. As you're sanding, be sure to feel around those areas to make sure that the surface is nice and smooth. Also, don't sand to the point where you're starting to see the color of the dresser come through the paint. You just want to sand just enough so that the area is smooth to the touch. Okay, so now that you've sanded the first coat, be sure to clean off the dust that you leave behind from the sanding. I used a vacuum hose and a paper towel to get off all the dust. Okay, so make sure you get a nice layer on your roller. All right, let's see. Oh, this is so much better. So much better. Okay, let me just show you really quick. Look at this. This is a huge difference. How insane. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Should get the nice layer. Make sure it's all even so that you get an even coat. Definitely hard to do while you're holding the phone, but already so much better. Just as if you were using a brush, be sure to go in one direction with the foam roller so that you don't create visible lines on the surface that you're painting. So because I did this top coat in like a minute and a half, I decided to just do the whole thing. So this is the first coat for this side. So it looks like it just needs like one more coat. And then this is the first coat for the front. So for this area right here, as you can see, it has this divot here. So what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use this brush to get inside there. So I just wanted to let you know before I do a time lapse of it. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Okay, so I was not feeling that mini foam brush. I've ended up just finishing it with the brush and then decided to go over it later with the round brush that I had. So I'm just going to finish this whole piece off with another coat, and then I'll show you what it looks like after my last coat is complete. So this is the final look with 3 coats. So I'm done with the painting. Now what I'm going to do is sand it down to get it to a smooth texture. Right now it's super bumpy from the foam roller. Now that I finished smoothing out the surface, I'm going to use this sandpaper. It's a 220 to distress the wood. I was able to distress it a little bit with the sanding block, but I need a sandpaper that's a little more gritty. So I'm going to do that to distress it, and I'll do a time lapse of me doing that. So I decided to distress each corner of the drawers, and I also started to clean as I went because it started to get super messy. So just be sure to cover yourself and not breathe in so much of those chemicals. This is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to start off with this paste finishing wax. It's a natural. I've never used this before, so I'm not sure how it's going to come out. I did watch different YouTube videos on how to use it, so we'll see. And then after, I'm going to go over the distressed areas with a special dark paste with finishing wax. So when you use the wax, I'm going to apply it with this cloth. It's a cheesecloth. You can use a brush, but I'm just going to go, I'm going to go safe and use a cloth. And then the steel wool is to grab all the excess wax that you have on your dresser. So I'm going to do a time lapse of me doing that. Okay, so really quick before I do the time lapse, I just want to show you what it looks like. So what you're going to do is get a nice layer on your cloth and then do a thin coat on the surface that you want waxed. And when you feel it, it's literally going to feel like a candle. That's how you know you got a good layer on there. So I started off with the cloth and then decided to use the roller brush to see what that looks like. And the coating is not as even, so I decided to finish it off using the cloth. So this is what it looks like. Not sure if you're able to tell, but it has more of a glossy finish to it. So I just gotta wait until it dries. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to dry. So once that dries, I can show you how to do the darker wax. Now that it's dried, what I'm gonna do now is use the special dark wax to get the distressed areas. So you wanna take just a tiny bit of the natural, and I'm gonna put it on my paper plate, and then just a big glob of the special dark. Now that I have my portions, it's kind of gritty. It's not as soft as I kind of wanted it to be, but just got to work with what you got, right? Okay, I'm going to mix this together with the round brush, and then I'll show you what that looks like. I really had to work it to mix these two things together. I ended up using a fork, which made the wax softer, which is probably better. So next time I probably won't even mix them. I just saw it on YouTube, so that's why I did it. But I probably won't even mix the two together next time. So I'm going to do just one section with the cloth because I like the cloth a lot better than using the brush. So I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll do a time lapse. This is what it looks like. This is so scary, but it's not so bad. So all you got to do is use your steel wool to get the excess off. And then use a cloth to polish it up. Which is hard to do while you're holding the phone. So time I'll invest in a camera holder. Okay, so now you have that rustic farmhouse, shabby chic, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that look. So now you just got to wait until it dries and then it's all done. Okay, so what I did was apply a thin layer of the dark wax over all of the distressed areas and then use the steel wool to take the excess wax off of those surfaces. And once I took off the excess wax, I used the cheesecloth to buff the entire dresser down. I want to show you what I decided to do with the bar knobs that came with this dresser. I spray painted them gold with this Krylon foil metallic. I just had it on hand. It's a spray paint. I was really afraid to actually even spray paint anything with this cold weather that we're having, but it actually dried okay. I'm gonna sand it down a bit so that it looks more rustic. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, but this is what it looks like after sanding the spray paint a little bit off. This is the end result after it's staged. Please don't look at my green walls. I'm definitely going to paint that a different color, but that's sometime in the spring. So I want to take a quick close-up of the knobs. I distressed them pretty good to go with the theme that I'm going for. So if you like it, please hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. I have a ton of new videos coming up of my DIY projects that I'm doing at home. So for this is my first time ever doing a dresser. So I was definitely learning as I was going, but thanks so much for watching and I hope you like it.